Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Elemental Companion podcast. I, of course, am your host Heather, and today we're talking to Samantha. So Samantha, say hi, let us know what you're all about.
Hiya, I'm Samantha. My main kind of favourite hobbies or passion projects, I suppose, are my dog walking and dog sitting business, which I love, and I'm currently in Bo'ness for 2 whole weeks doing, and I have 2 dogs right now. So if you hear barking, it's because there's a small dog out the window, and we're very excited. And my other thing is I'm an aspiring author, and I'm currently working on my first novel, which is a labour of love, but definitely a labour. So,
Understand.
so it's been a nightmare, but it's even worse when you've told friends your idea and shown them scenes, and they're now pestering you because they want to know what happens, and they've told you how it ends, and you're pretty sure they're going to be very mad at you because you've decided how it ends, and you've not told them that they're wrong.
Oh, yep, been there.
And I'm like, oh. And they're the bit like my friend Megan, she's the biggest fan of it, and like she knows who she wants the main girl character to end up with. But I've known since I started writing it who she ends up with. And I'm like,
that is fantastic.
so yeah. Quite happily to be sitting at desk writing surrounded by canines. It's basically my idea of heaven on earth.
Basically, you're living your best life, is what I am.
I am right now. I am very much living my best life. I'm in front of a computer. I have notepads and pens and stuff. Definitely overpacked because I think I brought like 4 notebooks, all of them empty.
I mean, you might have needed them though.
And yeah, I also brought my online college course notebook with me. So I'm doing criminal forensic psychology, which is a very depressing subject. Basically, I've just done a massive module on the effect of being in prison on female mental health. And it's not very nice thoughts. So it's very much study for a bit and then watch a funny TV show to kind of like, it's very interesting, and I've always been interested in stuff like that. So when it was down from over 200 quid to 29.99, I was like,
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Something to do.
But yeah, that's me. Dogs, studying, writing. That's about it.
Yep. All the fun stuff, really.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm not going to ask you what your book's about then, because I know for a fact that if I let you talk about it for long enough, you will do spoilers.
I will do a lot of spoilers.
So
but I will say, bits of the book are on my blog.
Okay.
So you can get sneak peeks of it, which technically are spoilers, but you're choosing to spoil it for yourself. So
okay, so if somebody wanted to go and look at your blog, where is that?
It is, the link for it's actually on my Facebook page, and it's Time Can Be Funny in Dreams at blogspot.com, I think.
Cool. Okay, I will add the actual link below for everybody. So
probably a good idea. It's quite long.
Is there anywhere else where people should be following you, or is it mainly blog?
Well, my dog sitting thing, I have a Facebook page and an Instagram page for that, which is basically just as many cute dog photos as I can physically upload onto the internet.
So we'll add those down there too.
So for Instagram and Facebook, it's Sam's Paw Prints. On Instagram, it's Sam's_paw_prints on Instagram. So yeah, cute doggy photos. Some cats too, because people need me to look after the cats as well. So there's a few cat photos.
Basically, a whole feed of adorable is what we're saying here.
Very much so. Very much so.
Fair. That can be added below because I know for a fact that everyone loves adorable. So okay, and I suppose then we should actually get started. and do the quiz we're here for. So I have to ask, have you taken the free quiz on my site at any point? Or nah?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. That's fine. Sometimes people do, so it's fun to compare. But if you have not, that is equally as good.
I might have done.
Oh.
I feel like I've done one of the quizzes you've uploaded before, but if I have, me and my crappy memory, have no clue. So
fair enough. So we're starting with no idea.
Yeah, blank slate.
Awesome. All right. In that case, question 1. When you're procrastinating about selling or moving your business forward, or writing in your case, that also counts, what is the voice in your head saying to you?
Well, 1, you've got a long way to go. You're never going to get there. 2 is the scary blank white page on the screen. That is a very scary thing. I don't like it. Weirdly, it's more intimidating when it's like the blank screen on the PC. I find it easier to deal with a blank notebook page for some reason. And usually, how bad is your spelling? Like, it's very much, how are you going to write a book when that's the state of your grammar? But it's because when I get writing, my brain works faster than my hand. So, like, I think I've written everything fine, and I've missed words. There's missing capital letters. My grammar's went to hell. I've put the same word twice because why not?
I think we cut out very slightly there. So can you repeat the last little bit you just said?
My brain works faster than my hand. So, like, I miss out full stops. I miss out words. I misspell words. Some of things are scrawled in random margins.
Do you ever do the thing where you're writing so fast that you...
Oh, you cut out again. Technical difficulties.
I see how this is going to be, by the way. We're going to have crap internet.
Yeah.
Just because, of course, we've decided to hit record now. We were talking a little before everyone at home. Perfect internet. No problem.
Yeah, lovely. No issue. Now that we've hit record, it's jinxed.
Now you're just gonna have to suffer with us, basically.
Yeah.
But no, what I was asking was, if you ever do the thing where you're writing so fast and thinking so fast about what you're writing that you just like mash words together. So you'll get like half of one word and then half of another, and then you're like, this is the perfect word, but it's not.
Yes. And the other problem I have is like, I'll know what I want to say in my head, but I can't get the words from my brain to my hands. And I'm like, I know I can't quite form the word that I'm trying to put on the bit of paper. And then that just like...
And there's the dog.
Yay! The dogs! Yay! Right, there's no one at the door. They're just being noisy, apparently.
Fair.
Right. Well, Holly, you've woken up. Apologies, everyone.
It's fine.
Yeah, so I get writer's block over one word. Literally can't move forward because I can't get this one word.
All right, so what about when you are thinking about writing and can't bring yourself to start? What's going on there?
I'm usually midway through a box set on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and it's very much the one more episode. I'll do it after one more episode, or I give up to Holly. I give up too quick. Like, if I don't immediately have inspiration when I sit down at my desk, I'll just be like, oh, well, that's it for the day. I'll try again tomorrow. Whereas I should be more disciplined and be like, sit down and just write anything. Because I know that even once I start writing, I'll be fine. So even if I just write a quick bit of rubbish, just a quick throwaway piece, it'll get me started now. But to be honest, I'm just lazy. By the time I get in from work, I'm like, and also I'm messy. So my desk is usually a shit show. So in order to write at my desk, I have to first tidy my desk. And
Fair.
that seems like a lot of work. And I'm
Mhm.
just feeling, I'm a world-class procrastinator. I really am.
Fair.
And the thing is, I shouldn't, because writing always makes me feel better. Writing is a way of me looking after my mental health.
Mhm.
And yet I procrastinate from it, even though I know I like it, I know it's good for me. And it
Okay,
doesn't
so
actually take that much energy. It just...
let's look closer at the procrastination bit then. Because obviously, like, there's the desk, there's the being tired, there's the ever-present allure of Netflix. But what's
Yes.
actually going on in your head for that? What sort of feelings are happening here?
Almost like looking at writing as a chore, which it shouldn't, because it's something that I love. But sometimes, if I'm not feeling particularly inspired, it does feel a bit like a chore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other thing is, the whole thing is, if I don't do it, I can't fail at it.
Yeah.
And if I don't write the book, then it can never fail. It can never be read and being thought of as bad.
Okay. So,
which is a horrible way to look at it.
So talk more about that part.
I think it's always scary when you put your heart and soul into something. And it's very scary to put that out, even just on a bit of paper or on a blog that really no one reads. There's always that risk of negative feedback, of criticism. And to write a novel takes so much time. So to put all that time and energy and soul, really, and heart into something, the scariest thing is someone saying something really horrible about it. And I don't know, I suppose if you don't do it, you don't risk it not working out.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's a fairly common thing with
Which is
writing.
a pessimistic way to look at it. And I don't like letting that pessimistic side of me out, but it is I think it's ingrained in all of us that we don't really want to fail. But if you don't risk failing, you can't succeed. So,
So, okay, I'm going to ask a horrible follow-up question for that one then. When you are like feeling your fear of failure type thing, what exactly is it you're thinking you'll fail at? Is it that you're not good at what you're doing, or is it that you'll never finish what you're doing, or like what aspect of it?
A mix of a lot of things. I mean, like the book I'm writing now, I do have a lot of ideas, but there's also big gaps in the plot that I can't seem to figure out. But that's because I'm trying to do it in my head, and I know that if I write it, it should eventually morph. But as a writer, I get easily distracted by new ideas. So I'll say I'm going to work on my novel, and I'll actually be like, oh my god, that prompt I saw the other day, I'm doing that. And then until I get that new idea at my head, my brain won't focus until I've got the other one out. So yeah, I'm a bit scared that I'm never going to finish it. But of course I'm never going to finish it if I don't work on it. But also the fear is putting years of my life into this one piece of work, to put it out there to the world, for it to just fail epically, and for people to say that I'm not a good writer, or
it's
not worth reading. It is. It's huge. It's very scary, and I'm not easily scared usually. So,
well, no, but it's scary stuff. So, okay. In that case, our second official question.
Oh,
that was all one question.
That was all one question.
Yeah, before we
Oh,
started, I told her we had 2 questions because we do broadly
we
have
do
2
technically only have,
questions.
yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of follow-up for the first one. So,
Yeah,
second
I did,
question.
when you said 2 questions, I wasn't betting on them being that big a question. Like, that is
They're not
intense.
small
Like, you
questions.
warned me they were bad questions, but wow, that was
They're like
in-depth.
they're not just bad questions. They're mean, horrible questions that need
They
you to rip
are. Like,
your
I
heart
never
open.
normally let myself deeply think about all my insecurities about my writing. Like, this is therapy for me right now.
Yep.
This is a whole lot of, like...
Well, I mean, yes. Okay, so second question then is when you are feeling that way and feeling your fear of failure and it's never going to be done, how do you resolve that so you can move forward?
Well, usually I swear at myself, to be totally honest. Or I will buy myself a new notebook, which I don't need. I will point out I have dozens of unused pretty notebooks because I can't walk past a pretty notebook without buying it.
I mean, agreed.
It's an obsession. It's a vice. It's bad. But sometimes when I get a pretty notebook, I just want to write in it. So I'll just, or if I can't get inspired, I tend to go on Pinterest and type in like writing prompts and see if there's one that'll get me started. But sometimes I think you just have to be tough with yourself because no one else can make you do it, especially when you're a grown-ass woman. Like,
yeah,
it's not like your parents, like when you're at school and folk would like make you sit down and write,
nudge
like,
you or be like, you need to do your homework by such and such day.
Like, no one does that. Like, if you set deadlines, you have to like make yourself meet those. Oh, it's terrible. So sometimes you have to just basically give yourself a kick up the ass and say, sit your ass on that chair, and you're not getting up till you've written X amount or for X amount of time, or but yeah, like I said, even just making myself write a throwaway piece. Once I get started, like the hardest bit for me usually is writing that first sentence. Once I've written one sentence, I might not necessarily write what I was planning on writing, but I will at least have done something. Or I actually go back on my blog and read my own stuff because who wouldn't? But you sometimes like rereading old stuff will trigger something. Like the amount of times I've been reading an old post, and I'll be like, oh my god, that could travel onto this, and then I end up writing a whole different scene for an idea that is a year old and I haven't thought about. So yeah, I think you just have to do what you need to do to get yourself moving.
Yeah, you sort of almost have to, like, part of it's pushing through, but part of it is nurturing yourself to a point where you can push through.
Also, I've discovered a very good trick. It was on Facebook, and I find it very helpful because it doesn't shut up the mean voice in your head saying mean stuff. It makes you not associate with yourself and not believe it. It's you imagine it's Donald Trump saying it to you. So I'm trying very hard that anytime something in my brain goes, well, you're never gonna finish it, I imagine it's that fucking Watson in a wig.
I mean,
telling me
this works for anyone you don't like, really.
Yeah, anyone you don't like. I use Donald Trump because honestly, I want to punch him, and I will be forever proud of the mysterious Scotsman that shat in his golf course clothes. I am 100% on board with him. May he never be caught. We're all behind you.
But like, okay, small segue here. Anyway, what I said was like, how can you do that and then not get caught?
I know.
Like, is there not
like you have to full on like squat? So like, it's surely pretty obvious.
It's a logistical nightmare for a start, and then
But do you know what my theory is? My
Mhm.
theory is he has been caught. Well, like he's been seen, and the security guards and or owners know who it is, but they're pretending they don't because they are like me, totally on board. Very much like we didn't
I
see
mean,
anything.
we may never know.
We
To
didn't
be
see
fair.
anything. We nothing. I don't know how we got away with it. No idea. Don't know nothing. So my theory is that a security guard somewhere knows exactly who it is.
I mean, you're
And
probably
has
not wrong.
just decided to be on board. But yeah.
Okay, so the good news is I have more or less figured out what your elemental is.
Yay!
Like, I say this probably every recording, but I am waiting for the day where I talk to somebody and cannot figure it out. But we're not there yet, so everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, so especially from the first question, which is where I sort of start narrowing it down, there were two that it might have been. The first one, I reckon, is probably like, okay, the one you're having problems with. I'll say those first because your companion's the opposite. I thought maybe there might be some air problems here because like that's a lot of showing up and communicating, and like when air is overactive, then you flit about and it's hard to settle, and you have all these different ideas all the time, and it's hard to pick just one, and it feels like putting all your eggs in one fruit basket is the worst ever. And sometimes that's true, but like, so air.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, and I'm like, honestly, by the time we got to your second one, I'm like, it's air. It's air's the problem. But the other one I briefly thought might be a small issue was actually your dark elemental, because that is to do with, you know, feeling that you're worthy of doing things. Air is like, can I complete the thing ever at all, or will I just flit endlessly? Which again, it's going to be that one. But
it is very much
like the lack of confidence and the being afraid of failing is very much to do with your dark elemental and how it interacts with the light one. So there's probably a bit to be said there. But then, of course, we got to the second question and how you resolve things, and the pushing through part and the, you know, nurturing yourself to a point where you can use it constructively is all very earth air related. So your air elemental is your problem here, not actually because it's particularly miserable, I wouldn't have said. I mean, it might be a little bit anxious and worried about, you know, doing one thing possibly, but it's because it's so developed, like, and it's the stronger part of that particular seesaw. So, you know, your ideas, your inspiration, your wanting to do the things, your creative problem solving, your, oh, if I'm stuck here, I can just do this thing over here and then I'll be unstuck over. That's all very air, working more or less how it should be. The companion you would be given in that case is actually the earth elemental. Now, earth, when they are working happily, which is what we want to have happen, is all about two main things. One, it's your structure and you're building your strong foundations type thing, right? That's the one where most people, you say to them, earth, sorry, they go, yeah, okay, I can see it. Rock solid. Got it. The other thing that earth does very well, and is probably more related to what you're trying to do, is it creates fertile ground from which to grow. And, you know, it helps you in that regard with building legacies and building, you know, your accomplishments and your body of work, really, is how that works. So what I would say for you is, first of all, your elementals aren't really that unhappy with you. You have gotten to a state of hell. We can make it work. It's fine. If I am feeling the wobbles, I can deal with the wobbles. So I'm not actually concerned about you in that regard. Because broadly speaking, you're doing the thing and it's great. Well done. But like, you know, so if I was to say anything to you that might help you, it would be, okay, so focus a little more on your earth elements of how it works. So that could be something like, you know, picking a time of day to write. And I know, especially for your air-based writery people, and I say this as one, it's really hard to just pick a time and go. But if you can sort of somewhat persevere with it, ish. It might not need to be a specific hour. It could be like a time of day that works. And you might not need to be like, okay, I'm going to write for an hour. It could be, well, I'm going to sit with my notebook for this amount of time. Whether writing happens or not, whatever. But, you know, it's like you can be quite flexible about it and still have it set that foundation. But, you know, that's where I would go with you, is over here. And it's not even that out of balance. You could just tweak a couple of things and you'll be fine. What I will say for your confidence, fear of failure thingy, I mean, broadly, you're doing fine with that too. But where that one is, now let me remember exactly what you said here, because I was thinking it while we were talking and then I got distracted because it was air and earth. Anyway, so okay, it was about, you know, is it going to be any good? Which means that that's your dark elemental having a little wobble. Now, a dark elemental, when it's healthy and happy, and I have actually seen people where this is the case, is very much like, okay, I know who I am solid with what I do, I know I am good at things, and I am perfectly okay with it only being validated by me. That's your dark elemental one. Your light elemental one, when it's all happy, healthy, and shiny, is very much with the, look at all these wonderful things I have done. Look, I have done it. I did the things. I have completed XYZ. And it is mirrored in my outside world over here. Look how shiny. So, you know, there's probably something in there for you too. But that's like, it's not your most pressing whatever for moving forward. So maybe what you'll find is once you've done some earth type work, and a few months down the line, your elemental will shift, and it will be one of those, and that will be more obvious because, you know, as we resolve things, we find different things. It's like you turn over some earth and go, excellent. Now oh, what the hell is this? You turn over some more, and it's fine. That's like normal. I think, honestly, and I spoke about this a bit in my first episode. The one I started out with was, I think I gave myself the light elemental the very first time. And then like 3 or 4 months later, I had to take it again to make sure the quiz was still working, as you do. And it was an earth elemental I wound up. No, it was the air I wound up with because I was having earth issues. So we did that. And then I did it like last week for the podcast. And it was freaking a fire elemental. So they're gonna shift, they're gonna change. It's fine. But yeah, just now, earth elemental. Huzzah.
Yay. That's quite cool. I recognise so much of myself in what you've said, which is crazy. Especially the air stuff, I'm like, yep, I don't stick with one project at all.
That's tricky. And like, the thing with air too is it doesn't always feel bad exactly.
Just no, it's so much fun. So much fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It's just frustrating when you can't work on what you were trying to work on because your brain's like over here somewhere.
Yep, it's tricky to corral, but
Yes, it is.
not the worst thing ever. Like whenever I'm using an analogy for it, if you have sufficiently strong air, then you'll plant some seeds in the ground, right? And you'll cover them over, and then air will come on and go and blow half of your stuff you've just done away. So you need to like sort of cover them over again and glare at it, and then it's more or less how I would describe it.
See, do you know how it feels? Have you ever seen someone trying to chase chickens?
Yes.
You know when someone says, go get a chicken? That's what it feels like with the ideas in my brain. It's literally like, right, I'll get that one. Oh, that one's closer. Okay, I'll try this one because that one's over there again. It literally is like the mental equivalent of trying to catch a chicken.
Yep. I could see that. Whereas, and it's the strangest thing, because if you did just focus on one, you would
You could probably get the damn chicken. Oh.
But yes, that is in fact why you have Earth.
Oh, yeah, I need Earth to balance.
Yeah, maybe we just sort of airlift a tree or two in.
Yeah,
that way they can.
A big pile of dirt just over here.
Or like fences or something.
Yeah.
So it can't just go whoosh and you have a bit of time to grow some things. But all right, so is there anything else you would like to say to the people at home before I wrap this up?
Nothing apart from, if you want cute photos, follow me on Insta and Facebook because it's very cute. And I look after a lot of dogs, so it is like a mismatch of like so many different breeds and personalities, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool. And like I said, I will add that in the link down below. And with that, we will wrap up today's episode.
Oh, Heather, do you know what's so fantastic?
What?
The entire time we've been recording, Holly over here has been underneath my legs. She's barked. She's woken up Serge. We're just about to hang up. She's just curled up on the sofa and went to sleep.
Okay. I want to see if this is at all possible. Give me cute dog. Oh, yeah, we see her over there. That is adorable. Also, what timing?
So, where's Serge? Can you see him?
Yeah. Oh, see? More dogs.
And then there's Holly.
Oh. Yep, we sure can.
Yeah, that's who I've got for the next 2 weeks. Cute puppies.
Wonderful. See, now you're probably going to be the favorite guest for a little while because there were animals. But okay, I will wrap this up here. People watching, if you would like to take the quiz for free on the site, that is over at salesrpg.com. And if you want to come on the podcast, there's the link for that down in the description. Until next time, I will see you